Hi everyone, Judy Tuttle here with another online card class to go with you this week. I'm excited to show you some projects we have designed from the Boho Vibes Suite Collection in the new annual catalog. Definitely my favorite when I first looked at the online, with the first time I looked at the annual catalog in Raleigh in March. I just knew I needed to get my hands on it. And so I'm so excited to be able to share it with you today. Today I will be making two cards. I don't want to say simple because one of them's got a lot of die cuts, but it's not hard. And then tomorrow we're doing two fun folds with you, and then on Wednesday we're doing a cute 3D item for you. So be sure to jump back in with me over the next 2 days and see what I have in store for you in the future. Okay, so when you hop on, let me know you're here. Give me your name and where you're from. Hi, Laura Kemp. I think you're in Florida right now. Is that correct? Or are you back in Ohio? I don't know where you're at right now, so fill us in on that. So, first of all, the buy one, get one free of the Suite Collections is, I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Buy one, get one for half price. Suite Collection sale is going on right now till the end of July. If you're a demonstrator, the cool thing is that not only can we get the buy one, get one free, but we can also get 20% more off of that. And then we also get rewards. So great benefits to being a demonstrator right now. Just be sure if you put an entire suite into your cart, you follow it up with another entire suite and don't add any other little parts that might be parts of suites to your order, or else it's going to take the 50% off the lowest priced item. Okay, just something to keep in mind. So the suite we're using today is one of the suites that you can get 50% off on if you buy another suite. So just so you know about all of that. That's only until next Monday, the last day of June, okay? Then I had to reschedule my Coned Flower Celebrations mega card class because I had a conflict. So we are doing it on July the 19th in person at 2:30, or you can get it to go. It'll be 8 cards, 2 each of 4 designs. If you watched my Facebook Live yesterday, you see that I cased this card that's in the picture here. Beautiful, beautiful bundle, and I can't wait to make some beautiful cards with you on this. So you can get it in person or to go. The cost is $40 or free with a $45 purchase. So think about taking that class. 8 cards is a great deal as well. All right, so hi Kathy, thanks for joining me. I'm going to move to my hands here because I'm going to start tuddling up with all of you and get right to my projects. Let's tuddle up together and do some stamping. Can you tell I missed my haircut last week? My hair's kind of crazy and out of control, but Friday, I had to reschedule it for Friday because I went on vacation last week. So here we go. All right, so Boho Vibes Suite is introduced to you on page 61 right here. I'm going to tell you, fell in love at first sight on this one. I just feel like, hi Chien, thanks for joining me. I feel like it just gives all those vibes, right, of 70s and rainbows and flowers and grooviness, right? Is that a word? Grooviness? I don't think it is, but I am feeling groovy right now. All right, and then on the next page here on page 62, they show you everything that you get when you buy the suite. Let's go back here. The suite price is $63.50. You get the bundle, the Sunshine Vibes bundle. You get a pack of the muted dots, and you get a full pack of the 6x6 Sunshine Boho Vibes paper. Sunshine. The suite is called Boho Vibes. The bundle is called Sunshine Vibes. These are called the muted dots, and this is the Boho Vibes paper. And of course, you guys saw that we cased these projects last week. So we've done some fun things with this already. Okay, so, one of my blocks just fell on the floor. Let me grab that. All right, so here is what they look like in real life. If you saw this all by yourself, you would probably think, gosh, it's kind of a boring stamp set, right? But together with these dies, look at all these rainbows that you get where you can mix and match the layers. You get some hearts and you get some bling bling. What do we call those? Stars, those fun stars there. And you can tell I'm going to use this today because I have my post-it note tape there, but super fun. I love how all the layers of the rainbow are different texture and design. It's going to be fun. You're going to love it. And then the muted dots, let's see, where did I put those? Here they are right here. So you can see I've used quite a bit of them already, but this is what they look like when you get them in the mail. These are all the colors that are in this DSP for sure. So you get cloud cover, petal pink. I think that is Daffodil Delight. There's also Cajun Craze, Mossy Meadow, and Secret Sea. So these are Mossy Meadow here too, okay? So those are the muted dots that coordinate with this. And then let me show you some of these papers. Obviously, you get some big rainbows with some fun detailed designs on the back. We use this one for one of our online casing projects. That really has the 70s feel to me. And then the back, you kind of get this Mossy Meadow kind of hashtag design. You get this stripe. We're going to use this today. And I really love the back side of this, which is just that Secret Sea with some sunshine bursts on it. It's super cute. Here's one of just a fun print. And on the back side, you get the Secret Sea stripe, diagonal stripe. You get these zigzaggies on this one with all those colors represented there, and on the back side this petal pink rainbow. And then this one, you guys, if you saw my sunrise sailing class, I used this as a kind of a background to use this as the sea and this is the sky. It was so pretty. And then that Secret Sea rainbow design there. Here's one with kind of some overlapping rainbows, petal pink on the back, and then we got the stripe. We use that for one of our cased cards. I'm using it for my fun fold for tomorrow. And then the back side is another Mossy Meadow kind of pattern. So that's what the paper looks like. I think for $63 to get the paper, the bundle, and the embellishments is a pretty good deal. So think about buying the bundle. If you buy the bundle from me, I'll give you this week's class in the mail to go. So super fun. Okay, so let's get started stamping. How about that? Say stop, blah, 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 Judy, and let's get started. Okay, so this is the first card we're going to make, Sending Good Vibes. This is probably the easiest of all the projects from the week. And then on the inside, we just have that little sunburst there. I'm going to show you how to put this one together. We start with a card base that is Cajun Craze. And definitely a popular 70s color, right? I'm going to fold this in half and use my bone folder to, here we go, it's right here, to get a really good fold on it. It really is weird how that bone folder makes all that difference. Okay, I have a piece of basic white that's going to go on the inside. So why don't we go ahead and stamp that first, and I'll pull out this panel that we're going to use on the front. This has been cut with that textured frames dies, and you guys have seen me there. It's all rectangular with different kind of little etchings on the edge. Hi, Christina. Thanks for joining me. We're doing some groovy cards with boho vibes today. So I'm going to grab my Daffodil Delight, ink pad, and I've got this half sun here. This half sun is going to be stamped. I want to make sure I'm in the camera, which I am, stamped right here on the bottom right inside edge of my card. And then I've got these sun rays coming out of that right here. So every time I see this, I want to sing that song, I think by the Beatles. Here comes the sun. Doo 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 doo. You guys remember that song? Remember a guy I had a crush on sang it to his other girlfriend at camp, and it's forever etched in my mind. Things, memories, right? Aren't always the happiest. So anyway, here comes the sun. Doo doo doo. Okay. He was about 5 years older to me and way out of my league, but I remember I just thought he was so handsome singing Here Comes the Sun to his girlfriend who probably did not appreciate him. All right. All right. So there we go. There's the inside of the card. And then I'm going to go ahead and take this white panel that I've cut. This is that textured frames dies. And this one is 2 1/4 by 3 3/4 is the size of that. Okay, I'm going to use the same stamp since they're already all kind of stamped up and inked up, and I'm going to stamp my sunshine here at the top, right like that. I'm going to grab those rays again, and I'm going to stamp it on this side and on this other side. There we go. There's the top of that. Next, I'm going to go ahead and finish stamping this panel. I'm going to take out my Secret C, and I have Sending Good Vibes. I'm in love with Secret C, you guys. I just adore this color. And who would have thought we needed another navy, right? But it's a darker, richer navy. Sending Good Vibes is going to go right there. Okay, so I'm done with all my stamping for this card. That's all the stamping that is on it. Let me grab my chamois here and go ahead and clean those off. Thanks, Christina. Most people in my life don't say, "Sing it, Judy," so I appreciate you encouraging me. Okay, so I'm going to grab my linen thread here, and I'm going to wrap it around. I'm going to put a pretty long length on the left side, okay? I'm going to wrap it around 2 times and cut it off here on the left side as well. And tie it in a bow. Somebody should fact check me on that. I'm pretty sure it's the Beatles. Here Comes the Sun, or maybe they cased it from someone else. Covered it from someone else. Cased is a Stampin' Up word. Covered is what bands do, right? There we go. Okay, Sending Good Vibes. That little linen thread is going to go right there. Cut my ends off. If you feel like your thread is a little loose, I'm going to show you a trick. You just pull it up a little bit, add some seal, and then kind of push it into the middle, and that'll take up the extra slack, okay? All right, now this panel is going to be put right on top of this one here, and it's going to go on flat. Okay, so I'm going to add some seal to the back of this. Okay. And this panel is cloud cover, and it measures 2 3/8 by 3 7/8. Okay. Okay. So we're getting close here. We're going to build our front panel. So I have a piece of Secret C. This is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And I'm going to add this DSP panel to the top. Oh, hi, Brenda. I'm doing some Boho Vibes cards today. I can't remember if you have this bundle or not. I think you do. I know that when we went to Raleigh, we both really loved that one. I love the colors as well. And I like that the rainbow colors aren't necessarily like your traditional. They're a bit muted, right? So this is just the back side of that same print. And I'm just putting it here at the bottom. So what I did is cut a panel 5 by 3 3/4, and then just cut it in half at 2 1/2, and then flipped it over. And so this is one side of the print, and this is the other side of the print. Okay, I have another piece of that Cajun Craze. It's a 1/2 inch wide. It is 4 inches long, and I ran it through with the plaster 3D embossing folder, so it has just a little texture on it there. Yep. Well, I think I'll convince you after this week that you need it, Brenda. It's so fun. Okay. Or maybe you didn't love it as much as I did. I have had people say they don't love it, and it just shocks me because I'm like, what? I love it. Okay. I'm going to add some dimensionals to this panel. So I just added that 1/2 inch strip across the seam where the two DSPs matched. And, you know, we don't like any saggy middles here. So I'm going to add some dimensionals to the back of this panel. I'm going to go ahead and put this one, since it's already out, on that panel. And then we're going to just layer these up on the front. So to get this card class in the mail, just the basics, the cardstock and the DSP cut for you, you just have to place a $50 order. So if you get the bundle, you get the suite, then, you know, you can get the class to go for free, and then also all that product, right? Okay, so that's going to be added right there to the front, right? And yay! I know, it's so fun, Brenda. You're going to love having this. And then this, look how cute that is. Think of people who you need to send good vibes to. You know, a friend that's going through a hard time, just someone that you love, and you want to tell them, you know, great things are going on. I'm going to send this to some of my counselor friends in Lincoln on the first week of school when they have to go back. And, you know, we used to have some shirts saying positive vibes only that we wore together. So I thought, oh, it'd be cute to send this to them, wouldn't it? Okay, so there we go, sending good vibes. So all we have left to do for this one is to add some of those muted dots. So let me grab this one. I like the petal pink for this one. I think it's a good contrast. So I'm going to put one right here, a small one up here, and another one right here. And that is our first card for today. Sending good vibes and sunshine on the inside. Makes everyone feel good, right? Okay, so let me put this one aside. And then I'll grab out our second card for today. So 2 today, 2 fun folds tomorrow. It'll be 11 that I'm here tomorrow because I have an appointment at 1. I'll make sure I'm all ready for that. And then probably back to noon on Wednesday. Okay, so tomorrow's the 2 fun folds. All right, so here is our next card. Oh, I love it. How fun is that? Isn't it cute? Um, and then this one. Look at that on the inside. So I'll show you how we put this together. And look, it has some dimension to it, so that's fun. All right, so me and my friend Monica, we collaborate on our weekly card classes to go. It's smart, right? Instead of both of us doing the same thing and trying to come up with 5 different projects each, we decided we should start doing this together and then save us some time and still bring you guys some awesome projects, right? Okay, so I have a piece of Daffodil Delight, and it is cut 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So you can see it's just a small little edge around it, right? But before I glue that on, I'm going to grab this stamp that's kind of like a hash mark. I'll show it to you on the, right here. It's this one right here, okay? And I'm just adding this to the top and bottom edge. I know, Kathy. That's what I love about it too. I really love how well these colors coordinate together, right? Really gives that 70s feel, I think. And I'm just adding some of that to the top there, just to give it a little texture on the back. And yes, Brenda, boy, it didn't take me long. Or were you already playing? Am I that good that you knew you needed to order it today? So fun here. So something, Kathy and Brenda are part of my team, and my team, they get all the PDFs for free for being on my team. So they will get the PDF, or I should say the recipe card, which I'll show you in just a second. I have one of them here next to me. For free. Okay, so now this is going to go on top of the card, and it looks like I used dimensionals under it, so let's do that. I don't think you would have to use dimensionals, but you know, we're paying a wazoo to send our cards in the mail anyway. Might as well make them all the pop, right? So, and I heard that prices are going up again. And you know, I don't want to offend anybody if you or your husband or someone in your family works for the post office, and it's probably not their fault. But I'm telling you, it is shocking how long it takes some of my packages to get to my customers and how inefficient it can be. Like, I've had packages kind of just roam around the state of Texas for several days, different cities, but before they head to Michigan, right? So I don't know what causes that, but sure is frustrating when I'm trying to get a class to go out to somebody or something like that. Okay, so I don't mind paying more if the service improves. So that's all I'm saying. Here we go. Okay, so this one is going to go on top of our mossy meadow here, and it's going to be popped up, and it, like I said, it's a very small edge all the way around, so carefully lay it right on top. There we go. There we go. All right, so now I have a piece that is 3 3/4 by 4. Let's see, which way do I want to do this? That's the 4-inch way. So I'm pretty sure it goes like that. Okay, so I'm going to take my outline here. I see that you said remind me, Kathy, but I'm not sure what you're referring to there. So maybe you need to remind me about what I need to remind you about. Okay, so this is just the outline of that rainbow. Okay, it's the outside edge. And I'm going to lay it on my white panel here that's 4 by 3 3/4. And I'm going to cut out that outline of that rainbow. go. And then what I'm going to do is build, well, let's start with something else. I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, so I have 2 pieces of Cajun craze here. They're both 1/2 by 4. And I'm actually going to place them right at the top and bottom of this white panel, okay? Just to give a little color and kind of frame it a bit. So I'm going to add a stream of my liquid glue right there and attach it to the bottom edge or the top edge of this white panel that the rainbow has been cut off of, right like that. Shimmy off the edges a bit here. Here we go. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this bottom edge. You can see I have all my pieces already die cut and ready to go there. There we go. Okay. Okay, now, before I put this panel on, I'm going to grab my Darling Duckling ribbon here, and it's going to get wrapped around the bottom edge of this. And we're going to tie it in a knot. Right here to the left, kind of to the left side. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to tie a knot right here. I don't think I'm as good with knots as I am with bows. I always have to think about it for a moment. But we're going to make it happen. There we go. That did pretty good, right? All right. I'm going to twist this way. I want that to go kind of like that. And I am going to do what I did with the linen thread. It's not really very loose, but I do want it to kind of tighten up just a little bit. There we go. There we go. There's my ribbon on that. Now I can add this to the card front by carefully adding, and it's going to go right here on the card front, right like that. But I'm going to add some dimensionals all the way around. Okay. Oh, Brenda, I reminded you. It was Brenda, sorry. From this distance where I look at my computer, I couldn't say that it was Brenda. I know. There's so many great things in this catalog. Sometimes it's easy to miss something, for sure. Okay, so here we go. I had someone reach out to me last week and say, "What are you doing for your online class coming up?" And I said I was doing Boho Vibes this week, and she's like, "I'm in. I'm gonna place an order so I can get it." So it's good that there's already some excitement around it, right? Okay, so I'm adding dimensionals all the way around that cut out rainbow piece, and I'm gonna pull that off, and I'm gonna center this on the front of my card base. This is super fun. I loved doing this one. There we go. Right like that. Beautiful. Okay, so I'm just going to set that aside. I'm going to take this piece that I cut out of there, and we're going to start building our rainbow on this. So I cut the largest arch out of Boho Blue. Cloud cover. Kind of reminds me of Boho Blue, and I'm just adding a little bit of glue to the edges here. Just enough to kind of hold it in place. And You know, and I've got to tell you, I remembered about halfway through cutting these rainbow pieces that I could have used adhesive sheets. So the last few will have adhesive sheets on it. Okay, so see how that fits right like that? Now these green mossy meadow kind of, what would you call that? Leaves, boughs. I would call them boughs because they kind of bend like a bough. These are going to go right inside this cloud cover one, and you can kind of bend it just a little bit to fit the way you want. There you go. It has a little wiggle room, and then I'm going to do the same thing here on the other side. So I think it would have been, you know, this isn't so bad. I was going to say it might have been a little easier if I'd used an adhesive sheet on the back, but that wasn't too hard, right? There we go. Now I cut the next layer out of petal pink, and this one has kind of that radiating stitch around it. Here we go. Okay. Then, this is when I got smart and decided to add adhesive sheets to the back. So, I have an adhesive sheet on the back of this one. And I just pull that off. See that the adhesive sheet missed this corner. So, I'm just going to add a touch of glue right there. There we go. And this is our next layer. Isn't this fun? I'm loving this. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, and then lastly, we have this Cajun Craze piece here. Again, I wised up and grabbed an adhesive sheet and put it on the back before I die cut this one. See, I almost think sometimes, I mean, it does make it lie flat nicely, I guess, but some of my holes didn't pop out. I'm going to pop those out with the scissors. Sometimes I think it's just as easy just to add glue, right? So my dots didn't all pop out there. I'm going to get those chads removed. Okay, there we go. So now what I'm going to do, how cute is that? Isn't that cute? What a beautiful design. Well designed bundle here. Okay, now this I'm going to put in flat in the inside of that space right there, so that the frame kind of pops up around it. Okay, so I'm going to grab some liquid glue here. I'm going to add it to the inside of that space and lay this flat inside. It's going to pop right back in there where we cut it out, and there we go. Now I cut a whole bunch of these hearts. I want a large cloud cover heart to go right on this little piece right here. So I'm going to add a dot glue right there and add this into that space. And then I want 2 small pink ones. Actually, I used the largest end. So when you get your kit, you will get all the cardstock things cut for you, unless they are in the bundle, because you need the bundle to do this. There's no way you can do these cards without having at least the Sunshine Vibes bundle in hand, right? But if there are any labels, any layers, I provide that for you. Okay, there you go. 2 little pink hearts right up there. Now I have a label that I've cut out. This is Petal Pink, and I have cut it out of the Stylish Shapes dies. Yes, thank you for reminding me of that, Kathy. You are right. There are a ton of awesome last chance items still available, and they add them to it every week. So if you haven't got into my Tuttle Up shop and looked around at those, go to the last chance items. If you type last chance up in the search bar, it will take you to the last chance page. There's also a page under shop for last chance items, and they are discounted, and they are great deals. So, okay, so I'm just going to cut a straight edge off one side of this. I stamped thanks on this banner in that's Petal Pink in Secret C. And then I'm going to grab my crocodile. You can use any kind of hole punch that has a small hole in it like that. Okay, and my original thought was to tie it to the knot here, but it just kept that into that ribbon, just kept, I couldn't get it to go the way I wanted to. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to grab my linen thread, and I'm just going to tie a little bow at the top of this tag. I cut way too much thread, but that's all right. We'll make it work. Okay, there we go. I love linen thread because it is a very kind of rustic feeling addition to a card. And do you remember in the 70s when they had that macrame kind of ropey stuff? I used to make macrame planters for my mom's friends at her office. I feel like maybe there was a punishment involved at one point, but I was good at it, so then I started getting paid. My mom knew how to keep me busy when I got in trouble. So anyway, all right, so I just tied that little bow on the end there. Gosh, you guys are like my therapy, bringing up my past, letting me talk about it. Nothing wrong with a little therapy, right? Okay, and then I'm gonna take off these back of these dimensionals on the back of my label, and I really just want to kind of tuck it under here and pop it up so it looks like it's tied on, but it really isn't. So there we go. There's our thanks there at the bottom. Okay, and now all I need to do is the inside. And for the inside, we're going back to that hash mark kind of stamp and my Daffodil Delight. And I'm going to stamp 2 of these on the inside of my card right here. I'm going to add 2 of those blue hearts. Let me just pull these out of here. I just want 2 different sizes. It doesn't really matter what size. I can feel that is 2 there. Okay. And add a dot of glue. And a dot of glue. You're right. You are exactly right, Kathy. Retail therapy is therapy, right? In this case, Facebook Live therapy is therapy, and it sure costs a lot less. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. Once you buy everything you want and need, maybe it doesn't cost, but it's way more fun, right? Okay, so this is going to get attached right to the inside here. And I'm just going to add my muted dots onto the front, and then this project will be good to go. All right. There we go. That's a fun kind of little inside detail, right? Okay, and then here's my front. I'm going to throw on some of these muted dots. And what color? Oh, we use that mossy meadow on here. Oops. Let's do that. Let's put another one kind of up here like that. And then I had one small one right over here by those hearts. Okay, so here's the first 2 cards of our online card class to go this week. Like I said, tomorrow is going to be 2 fun folds. And if you would like to get this class in the mail cut for you, you just need to make a $50 order in my online store, which is right at the top there, TuddleUpShop.com, right there at the top. And if you buy 2 bundles, you can get one of them for half price. And so this would be considered a suite. I said bundles, suite. This would be considered a suite with the dots and the paper and the bundle, right? So if you would like this suite and you want everything in it, you might as well buy another suite and get it at half price, okay? So here's the dies and the stamps, the muted dots, and the awesome designer series paper all comes in the suite. Okay, so I will see you here tomorrow. I'll be back at 11 a.m. I'll be back this afternoon with a card that we're casing from the catalog. So join me back from there. And if you would like to get the recipe cards for all the cards that we're casing from the catalogs, you just need to be a part of my email list. So I'll make sure I put that. Mary, I've missed you. Hi, Emily. I'm so glad you're here. I love the color combo too. Beverly, sorry, I didn't see you guys pop in. I'm just now getting notifications of that. You know what? We used Daffodil Delight for this because that is the color they mentioned in on the back of the DSP, Beverly. So we used Daffodil Delight, but I did use Darling Duckling for the ribbon at the bottom of this. Okay, so they still coordinate all well together. So here we go. These are today's 2 cards. 2 fun folds coming tomorrow at 11 and a 3D box coming Wednesday at noon. So God bless everybody. Come back and see me. And I'm glad you're here. And I know you guys are going to want this bundle, this class to go. It's just fabulous. So talk to you soon. Bye-bye.